my stepdad gets to the hospital and his reaction is so heartbreaking. Like, I've never seen a grown man cry like that a day in my life. Like, he was crying like a big baby. He was saying, my wife, my baby, I'm so sorry, baby. Like, this can't be real. Come back to me. And so all over again, now the whole room is distraught. And then he finally calms down. He's asking the same questions I'm asking. What's going on? How did this happen? Now we're having to try to tell him everything that we know. And now we call Karan, my sister, and my granny, my mom's mom. And we call Karan and she just loses it. She's throwing stuff everywhere. She breaks her TV. She breaks her door, puts a million holes in it. She's just acting so crazy, and like, we understand because none of us can live without my mom. Like this, none of us was expecting what she was warning us was going to happen. So now my sister has to find a way to the hospital. She gets off the phone to do her little brief moment of grief and then find her way up there. We call my granny, and I've never heard my granny cry a day in my life until that day, and she was just shattered. My granny and my mom were best friends as well. Like, we were all just so close. And my mom and my granny, they used to be on the phone 24/7 because we never really lived in the same state for too long as my granny. And so it was like she lost her best friend, her daughter, and they all said the same thing, like, nobody's supposed to bury their child. And so everybody's just distraught. Finally, my sister gets there. She's tripping out, and after my sister gets there, a nurse walks in, or a doctor, or whatever these people call themselves. And instantly, sorry for your loss. You guys need to start figuring out funeral arrangements or figuring out what you guys are going to do with the body. We literally have not been in this room for more than an hour at this point, and they're already telling us, get your deceased mother out of here. So now this lady has unlocked a new stage of grief in me. And I'm like, oh, glad that you're here. While we're talking about it and on the subject, how did my mom go? Like, how did this happen? Why did nobody try to restart her heart? Explain something to me. And she's like, oh, I don't know what the ambulance procedure is, but they did mention that they did try multiple times. And I'm like, okay, and when she got to the hospital, nobody tried again? And she's like, no, because she was already pronounced gone in the ambulance. And I'm like, that's crazy, because people have been brought back multiple times, like with their heart restarted. It just seems like you guys didn't try. At the end of the day, within 10 minutes, that's all. That's all my mom got out of you guys. 10 minutes worth of effort by not even doctors, people that are just trained to drive the ambulance. I don't know what they're specifically trained on, but I know they're not trained on the exact same things that doctors are trained on, and that's bringing people back to life. And so she proceeds and goes on to ask, is my mom an organ donor? And now that sets off the whole room, because my mom did not play about that organ donor stuff. She made sure none of us had that on our driver's license. And like, she did not play that. So now we're seeing why she was so serious about it all the time as soon as they mentioned that. And I'm like, no, she was not an organ donor. Why? Did you already take her organs? Like, now I'm thinking everywhere, because I'm like, none of this is making sense. I feel like the ambulance did not try to save my mother because she is a healthy Black woman and y'all wanted her organs. So now I'm like, this is not making sense. I need some type of autopsy or something to find out what happened to my mom, because now I feel like her organs were taken before she even got to this hospital. And you can call me conspiracy theorist all you want, but if it was your mom, you would be having all these thoughts too. And she was already super cold by the time I got to the hospital. Your body does not get cold that fast. I don't care what nobody says. Like, I got to the hospital within less than 45 minutes of her being gone, and she was already ice cold. And mind you, anybody I've ever lost prior to my mom has passed at Sunrise Hospital, so I already don't trust these people. So I told her that I want an autopsy, and she's like, okay, well, autopsies are $2,500 if it's not a homicide case. In that case, it would have been free. And so I'm like, okay, that's weird. But now I'm trying to come up with $2,500 because the money that I have is for me to move into my house. I did not plan around my mom passing. And so I call my auntie. We always suspect her to have the money because she's in the military. We just assume. And so we ask her for the money, and she's basically like, well, you guys are not really thinking this all the way through because I'm going to have to help with funeral cost or whatever the case may be as well. So, like, I don't know, maybe try to come up with it first before just asking me. In which I was mad at first, but I understand, like, she's not an ATM at the end of the day. So we ended up not getting an autopsy because we just couldn't afford it at the time. And they ask us what funeral home we want her sent to, and we tell them the funeral home. We pick one out, and that's just that. They're like, okay, well, you guys say your last goodbyes, and it's time to wrap it up. And so we're all just over her body saying goodbye. We walk out the hospital, and we are lost. Like, literally, as soon as we walk out the hospital and everybody gets to their cars, we're just looking at each other like, so what now? Like, she was literally the leader. She would have been able to tell us what to do in that moment, and she wasn't there to tell us what to do. So I'm still angry. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was feeling more anger than sadness at this point. I could not accept the fact that my mom just left like that. So I felt like there was some type of foul play going on. I don't know if it was on the ambulance. I don't know if it was at her job. But now my mind is racing everywhere, and I'm like, wait, didn't you guys say that Eric's baby mama's daughter works at her job? Like, did my mom eat anything? Did she drink anything? Like, have these people poisoned my mom? I promise you, my mind was everywhere. So I go up to the job, and I approach the girl, and I'm like asking her questions, but I'm very aggressive. So like, she's confused, like, girl, I just got to work a couple hours ago. When I got to work, your mom already said that the ambulance was on the way. And I'm like, no, I don't believe it. What did my mom drink? Like, did she drink some coffee? Did you give it to her? I'm just tripping out. So eventually everybody calmed me down. Like, they're pulling me out the store like, girl, you're about to go to jail today. At this point, like, you're doing a lot, and we don't want you in jail. So we had already made plans to go to my mom's house when we walked out of the hospital, but I just had to make a pit stop. And so we all meet up at my mom's house, trying to just move on. Like, not move on, but move how we know that she would have wanted us to move. She would not have wanted us to be so lost without her. Like, she basically felt like she trained us for this moment, and now was our time to shine. And so we go to her house, we're drinking, we're just all pretty much zoned out. Like, we're trying to laugh, but at the same time, every time we laugh, we cry. We're laughing, crying. Like, this is just going on for a couple hours until we're just exhausted from crying so much. So now everybody's ready to try to sleep this pain off and wake up from this nightmare. So we all separate and we go home, we go to sleep. Next day, this is still our reality. And so, mind you, me and this guy, we were already in the works of getting our own house before my mom had passed. We didn't plan around her passing, so I didn't know, like, what to do, but we had already got approved for this house. So in the midst of me grieving, I'm still having to sign a new lease, pay a deposit, all these things at once, because our move-in date was the day that she passed. So that happens, and honestly, another mistake that I made. I moved in and got a house with this guy, and this is when my life changed once again for the worse. So my mom basically prepared us for this moment, like I said, for years. She always told us that it's coming soon and that we need to be ready for it, and that this is what she wants us to do. So after she passed, I'm remembering all these instructions. I'm remembering every single time she told me she was going to go and what she wanted me to do, as is everybody else. We all remembered that she said she did not want a funeral. She wanted a barbecue instead with all of her families, laughs, good vibes. So that's exactly what she got. So we have a barbecue for her. If you guys want the backstory to that, I will be doing like a life after all of this thing. But we have a barbecue for her, and at the barbecue, he is basically trying his hardest to make it about the fact that it's his house. There was a huge backyard in this house. And in the backyard, there was like a back house. And as we're setting up decorations and things like that, he mentions he wants nobody in the back house because he's turning that to his game room. Wasn't his game room yet, but since it was going to be, none of my family could go in there. And it's really something that we could have used for the barbecue. But I just see all these things coming out that my mom and my sister were trying to warn me about this whole time. And as he's acting like this, I'm just like, why would I move in a house with this dude? Like, now I'm trying to plan my escape. So during the barbecue, he was acting like he wasn't just acting how he was acting before. And he was interacting with my family, socializing with them, on the grill with my stepdad and my first baby daddy and everything. Everybody was there. And so at this point, I don't like that, because I'm like, I don't even want him socializing with my family, especially the people he's never met before, because I don't want them to think that this is my man. Because now I've already decided I don't want this man no more. So I'm drunk out of my mind. I end up falling asleep super early, around like 11 p.m. that night. And the next morning we wake up and we're just talking about it. My stepdad and my sister end up falling asleep at my house. So we're just talking about the night before. We're talking about how this fly on the wall won't leave us alone. And my mom used to always tell us that when she goes, she's going to be a fly on the wall. She's going to always be stalking us, and we're not going to be able to get rid of her. But she used to always use the expression, I'm going to be a fly on the wall. So now we're feeling like my mom's energy has transferred that fast, and she's literally sitting here with us talking about her barbecue, like telling us, yeah, y'all did that. And so we're happy, we're vibing, like we're just talking about the night before and everything. And they're making fun of me for falling asleep so early and not getting my mom's name tattooed because I don't have any tattoos. I don't play those type of games. Like, I'm scared of needles. And so as we're talking and stuff, he basically calls me in the room to tell me that we're being too loud. The day after my mom's barbecue, no, he doesn't have work in a couple hours. No, it wasn't early in the morning. It was about 11 o'clock, but we're being too loud. Eventually, my sister and my stepdad decided that they couldn't take any more of his standoffish energy. Me personally, I went back to sleep after eating just to take a nap, but he was still awake, and so they knew that that was the only energy around them, and they just were over it. So they left, and life goes on. The next day after mom's barbecue, I tried to go back to work, and I had taken a week of bereavement. I took my 3 paid days and my 2 unpaid days, and then plus my 2 off days. So I come back from bereavement after a week, and I'm cleaning my rooms, and I get called to the office, and they tell me that I've been fired. And I'm like, life is just lifing at this point, huh? So I start crying. Like, I'm not even crying because I'm fired. I'm crying because of the simple fact that my mom called me the morning of her passing and asked me to come to her, and I told her I couldn't because of this job, and now this job is letting me go. But one thing about me, I've been having my own place since I was 18 years old and never looked back. I never went back to my mom's house since then. So I was going to get another job. I was going to make sure my rent was paid. Like, that wasn't a problem. But he didn't know that about me, I guess. So as soon as I get fired, he's acting like that alone is stressing him out. And my energy is just so off, and that basically I'm taking too long to get over my mom passing. So there were multiple different occasions where he would be like lashing out on me simply because I was grieving. And so, yes, I can admit that I was an angry person at that time, but that's not an excuse for how he was acting towards me. If you love somebody and they're going through something like that, any way they're acting should not even bother you, because you should know exactly why they're acting like that. But he didn't care. It was all about him. So one time we were on the way to my stepdad's house, and I don't even remember what we were going to go pick him up for. But as we're on the way there, we're fighting about something that I can't even remember. It was so little. And he said something about putting his hands on me. And at this time, like I said, after my mom had passed, I was an angry person. Like, I wanted to fight somebody. I didn't care, male, female, zebra, like everybody can get it. So he said he wanted to put his hands on me, and I just stopped the car and threw my car in park. And I'm like, okay, so what's up? So now at this point, we're fighting, going blow for blow, and he puts a big knot on my forehead. But at this time, my stepdad was completely blind in one eye and couldn't really see out the other one. So we pull up to my stepdad's house because this happens literally the light before his house. And when we pull up, I don't say anything. I'm just thinking he's going to see it. But if he doesn't, he just doesn't, because I didn't feel like I was in danger. Like, I just didn't. I'm not going to call on nobody unless I need you to come. So my stepdad doesn't see it. We drop him off where he needs to be dropped off to. And as soon as we're like back by ourselves, he's like, yeah, nobody's coming to save you. Your stepdad didn't even fend for you. And I'm like, I didn't even tell my stepdad what was going on. And he like, oh, well, you have a big knot on your forehead. He's seen it. And I'm like, I promise you, he did not see that knot. That man couldn't even see his own fingers at that time. And then another situation happens where we get into it, and we are close to his baby mama's house at the time. So as we're getting into it, he literally just hops out of my car and walks to his baby mama's house and doesn't say anything after that. So now we're getting into it so bad, the worst we had ever been getting into it, our whole relationship, after my mom died. So I'm finding that abnormal within itself. Like, dang, like, you're supposed to be here for me right now, and you're treating me like you hate me. So now it's November 14th, 15th, or 16th. Whenever this boy's son's birthday is, that's the date. And he at first asked me if I wanted to go to his son's birthday party that his baby mama was throwing. So now I'm thinking like, okay, maybe he's trying to use this as the platform or the setting where we're going to finally have a conversation and come to an agreement or an understanding so that we can stop all the drama in this relationship. So I asked him, I'm like, your baby mama invited me to your son's birthday party. Like, none of that is sounding right. And he's like, no, she didn't, but you can come. I don't care. That's my son too, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, that's not going to work. You need to have a conversation with this woman and find out if I'm actually welcome to come to this birthday party. So I guess they have a conversation, and she tells him, no, she can't come, but her daughter can. Mind you, this is only about a month after me losing my mom. So I'm still not even all the way mentally there. I text my sister and I'm like, do you think I should let Nyla go to this birthday party? And it honestly wasn't even in the sense of I care about her or him. It was just more so like, should I just let her get out the house and have fun? She hasn't experienced anything but sadness lately. So my sister was like, hell to the no, no, no. Do not let my niece go up over there by herself. I don't trust him. I don't trust his baby mama. None of that. If you feel like they need to get out the house and have fun, we'll plan something this weekend and we'll take my nieces and nephews out. But as far as going up over there with them people, absolutely not. So since his son's birthday party, everything has been more different than before. Even though I was already mentally done with this guy, after his son's birthday party, I can just completely tell that he was over my energy and ready to return home, and that we had both made a big mistake by moving into this house together. So November 26th, 2022, I had went over to my big sister's house because that was now where my other sister Rachel was staying as well. And we just had a conversation. We were talking about everything that had went on. And she was just basically just trying to remind me, like, sis, we had the time of our life when it was just me and you. Like, it was so much better when it was just me and you. And we let these people come into our life and basically ruin everything. Like, they ruined our happiness. They prevented so much things from happening. And so she's like, at this point, I feel like we just need to go back to the basics. Like, go back to what we know. Move out of that house, forget your name. Your name is already messed up from your apartment. And me, you, and Karan should just get a house together. She's like, just reminding me of every little thing. Like, do you remember when this happened with his baby mama? Do you remember that, like, just look at it from a different point of view for once. Do you not, like, realize that she's acting like this because he's telling her one thing and then telling you the next? And so I'm like, I'm tired. Like, I'm just tired, sis. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm exhausted. I made a big mistake. I don't know what to do. I don't want to have that apartment and this house like messing up my credit. Like, I just don't know what to do. And so, in the midst of us having this conversation, he's texting me, telling me like how done we are with each other. We're arguing. And he tells me, well, as long as I'm paying my half of the rent every month, then don't worry about it. Me and my baby mama about to be up in the back house living it up. And I'm just like, why is he acting so evil towards me? Like, I'm exhausted. Like, she has her own place. Go home to her. Like, why do you want to start that type of drama? Because you know if I come home and this girl's in my house, I don't care if it's the back of my house, it's going up. And so my sister, I'm sitting there telling my sister about all the text messages, and she's like, yeah, no, at this point, sis, just go ahead and move out. Just come move in with Karan, and we'll all just move up and live up in this apartment until we can afford a house. And like us being piled on top of each other will give us the motivation to do it faster. But like I said, I've had my own place since I was 18, so that just didn't sound right to me. Like, I would rather him be kicked out of my place and my sister come move into my house with me. She could stay in the back house and we're roommating from that point on, rather than me go stay in like an apartment, like with on somebody's couch. I just wasn't feeling it. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna try to like figure it out. I'm gonna see if maybe he'll move out. So November 27th is 2022 is the day that Thanksgiving fell on that year. And this is our first Thanksgiving without our mom. She was always the one to cook the good food. She was the best cook in the family, and we just didn't know what to do. So we decided to house hop. We went to my auntie's house, my mom's god sister, and we ate there. The food was nothing compared to hers. We went to my godmom's or my goddad's mom's house, and the food was trash there. Like, we just hated it everywhere we went. And I can see on my sister's face how depressed she was. Like, Rachel, out of all people, was struggling to continue simply because she didn't really have anything to live for anymore. She felt like we had kids, she didn't. And I'm honestly just saying that to say, you can tell when it's about to be somebody's time. You just have to watch the signs, honestly. So the next day, November 28th, 2022, is the day that it all happened. I woke up next to the devil, and we were talking about smoking that day. We didn't have any more trees or whatever. Like I said, I don't know what I can say and what I can't. But we were talking about calling somebody to bring it to us. And so it was like a debate because he wanted to go to who he wanted to go to, and I didn't want to wait on him. So we just decided not to buy it together anymore. Like, we're going to just buy our stuff separate from now on. We've already decided to break up anyway. We just don't know what we're about to do with this house. And so he goes to pick his up, but I had already called somebody to bring mine to me. So as he leaves and comes back, when he comes back, I'm just like, well, he started packing his stuff, packing his game and stuff, and I still didn't have any. And at that point, like, I couldn't go without it. I had just lost my mom. I don't care, like, what relationship we have right now, you can still give me a little until my dude gets here. And so I tell him, like, I ask him, like, you're not gonna give me anything, like, at all? And he starts going up, I don't owe you nothing. Like, you already just said we're buying it separately, blah, blah, blah. I don't owe you nothing. I'm about to get up out of here. So I'm like, okay, cool. You got it. And I'm the type of person where it's like, let the door hit you on the way out. Like, I won't lose no sleep about it. So he's walking out the door, and I push the door, like, to slam it. And it hits, like, his ankle or his foot or whatever on the way out. And so he gets mad, and he pushes the door back in and punches me in my face. So I'm like, you didn't even have to do all that. So now we're physically fighting. And honestly, truly, he was weak. And I was whipping on him, and he had a lot of hair. So I was fighting him like a female. I was pulling on his hair, dragging him. And I guess he felt like he was losing. So he was like, nah, forget that. I'm about to call a female to beat you up. Don't worry about it. I'm about to call a female. I'm not even about to keep putting my hands on you. And I'm already knowing that he's talking about the female I've been having problems with the whole year in my relationship. So go ahead and call her. Like, it's about time for us to fight anyway. And so he's like, don't worry about it. I'm about to call her. But first he calls his brother. And his brother is like, come on now. Like, that's some, like, female stuff. Do not call that girl up over there to your house that you got with your girl. Like, just walk away. He's literally trying to tell this dude to walk away. Now the names is about to come out. So he's like, no, I'm tired of this girl. I'm about to have Ebony come do it to her, which is his baby mama. And this and this and this. So he calls his baby mama and he's like, Ebony, you got the go ahead. So now I'm like, oh yeah, this is crazy. They've been plotting on me this whole time. Like, he's been wanting me and his baby mama to fight, and that's why he would never resolve our issues, our whole relationship. So he's like, yeah, you got the go ahead or whatever. And then he like, I'm gonna send you the address, and hangs up the phone. But I don't see him texting no address or nothing. So now I'm mad, like my blood is boiling. You just called this female up over here. Don't worry about it. I'll make sure she get here safe. So I sent her the address. And she called him back, and she was just basically like asking him if he for sure wants her to come. And he was like, yes, go ahead and pull up. So now I call my sister. But I'm honestly just calling my sister and letting her know today is the day, because this whole relationship, she's been warning me, my mama's been warning me, they've been letting me know like it's eventually gonna happen. I've been letting them know like, yeah, now I feel like y'all are right, like I'm eventually gonna fight his baby mama. So I'm literally just calling her to tell her it's going down right now. I did not know my sister was about to leave work and be on her way right then and there. But my big sister has never played about me on no day. So she was already on her way there as soon as I told her, yeah, it's going down right now. And so I'm like, sis, you don't really got to leave work. Like, I got it. And my sister already felt like since he was 25, she was around his age. They was more so in her age bracket, and that was her fight to take. And I'm like, that's not, no, because this is the dude that I'm dealing with and his baby mama. Like, you don't, no, I don't feel like this is your fight to take at all. And she like, I don't care. You're my little sister. So she's on the way to me. And at the time, his baby mama only lived about 10 minutes away from us. So his baby mama gets there before my sister, and she pulls up in the driveway. And as soon as he walks outside to the driveway to go meet her or whatever, my sister tells me, lock the door and wait until I get there. Like, no, this is not going down without me there. So she's like, lock the door, and when I get there, I'll let you know. I'm gonna stay on FaceTime. So as soon as he walks out the door, I lock the door. And when he comes back to the door, he just starts kicking it in. Kicks the door in, literally breaks the entire door frame. And I guess he thought as soon as they came in, his baby mama was about to go to work. But the girl tries to sit down on my couch. But this is not an intervention. Like, girl, what did you think you came to give us? Couples therapy? So as soon as she's sitting down on the couch, she like kind of turns her back. But the way that my house was set up, from the couch, you can see my room. And the house wasn't big at all. So I know this girl seen me in her peripheral vision. And I know she didn't think that I was not going to do anything after she just walked up in my house. So I run up on her, and he tries to warn her, like as if she didn't see me. And he's like, Ebony, turn around. What are you doing? So she turns around, but doesn't, like, she's not fighting me back. Like, I'm literally just beating this girl up. She's not fighting back. She's running behind the couch, literally got herself cornered at this point. And now he jumps in. Mind you, my sister already warned me that this was about to happen when she told me to lock the door. She was like, they're going to jump you. Like, if you do not lock that door, they're going to jump you. So I already knew it was about to go down. But like I said, he was fairly weak, and obviously so was his baby mama. And so when he grabbed me, he like grabbed my ponytail and just yanked me down on the floor. And now they both getting their licks in while I'm on the ground. But as I'm laying there and swinging back, I'm like literally realizing how weak they are. And I just stood up. So as soon as I stand up, he's asking her, where's my AR? Where's my AR? Like asking her where to go. And I'm like, what is he looking for that for? So she's like, where's my car keys? She's ready to get up out of here. She realizes that she don't know what she just walked into. So she's looking for her car keys, and I see her car keys, and I throw them outside, and I tell her to go fetch like a dog. And I'm looking for my phone because now I hear my sister, but I'm thinking I still hear my sister on FaceTime. So I'm looking for my phone, and they go outside. She gets in her car, and I assume he finds his AR. So I finally find my phone and I realize that my sister is no longer on FaceTime and that I hear her voice here outside in the driveway. So I run outside. As soon as I get out there, I look to my right because the driveway was right there on the side of the house. I look to my right and he has the AR in his hand pointing it at the car. I look to my left and I see the baby mama sitting in the car in the driver's seat and my sister on top of her beating her up. And this was all just happening so fast. So I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why do you have that in your hand? And as soon as I say that, he shoots it. And it goes through the car. So I start running up to the car. And I'm like, what the did you just do? And he pointed at my head and was like, I wish you would. And so I'm thinking that it didn't go through the car, that it just hit the door. And I started running up to the car, and I guess he assumed the same thing because he knew that I was running up to the car and his baby mama was about to get jumped, just like they just jumped me. So he like, I wish you would. And I was like, you're not about to do nothing. And I still ran around the car. When I ran around the car, I see my sister literally laying there. So I start screaming to the top of my lungs. Mind you, Rachel's boyfriend is the one that drove her there. And he's literally just standing there like a deer in the headlights, like not doing anything. He didn't move a muscle. So I run up to her and I'm checking her, like trying to see if she got shot. Like, why did she just fall? I don't know what just happened. So I'm looking at her and I see that there is a wound in her butt. And I'm thinking that's the only place that it's at, is right there in her butt. So now I'm thinking, okay, maybe she's okay. Like, maybe nothing's going to happen. Hurry up and call the ambulance. So I call the ambulance. And they're giving us instructions to put pressures on her wounds. And he was so evil that his baby mama didn't even know that was about to happen. She literally asked him, why did you just do that? What is wrong with you? So he goes and runs in the house. And mind you, it was a registered firearm and the house was in his name as well. So now he's trying to play by the law or whatever, like however you want to say it. And trying to like, you know, put pressure on the wounds and do things like that. So it seems like it was an accident. And now I'm tripping out once again. I'm like, do not touch my fucking sister. Like, do not put your hands on her at all. I tell her boyfriend to do it. And I don't even know if her boyfriend started doing it or not because I like could not touch my sister like that. I see my sister laying right there and she's literally just saying, sis, this shit hurts so bad. And I'm just telling her, like, I know. Don't worry about it. Nothing's going to happen. And she was like, yes, it is. I'm dying. Like, she's still talking to me, though. So I'm not believing nothing's about to happen to her. And she was like, I'm dying, sis. And I'm like, girl, no, the hell you're not. And so the ambulance gets there and they take her, and the only hospital nearby is Sunrise. And I'm literally begging them. I'm like, do not take her to Sunrise Hospital, please. Like, I don't trust that hospital at all. And they're like, that's the only option. It's only like 6 minutes away from here. If we don't take her to Sunrise, she might die. So they take her. She's laying on the stretcher and she's still talking. She's literally still talking, still saying the same thing, that it just hurts so bad and that she feels like she's dying. And I'm like, sis, I'm gonna be there in a second, I promise you. And so I didn't know that when the police got there that they were gonna wanna like put me in handcuffs and question me for hours. I literally thought that they would be able to meet me at the hospital and question me at the hospital, because at the end of the day, I was the victim in the situation and my sister was too. Like, he called this girl over here. He's the one that started all of this. He's the one with the firearm. Like, I don't understand why he's not the only one being put in handcuffs right now. So they put me in handcuffs, his baby mama and him, and they're just questioning all of us separately. And the investigation goes on for hours. And as I'm in handcuffs, I'm tripping out. I'm like, I just want to go check on my sister. Like, can you guys please let me go check on my sister? Can y'all call the hospital? Let me talk to her physically, like something. I don't care about nothing but my sister right now. I can't even tell y'all the story for real because my mind is everywhere. And that's how the article ended up saying that all of this was over marijuana, because I was so distraught that that's the story that they got from me. And so that was happening, and this happened at 11 a.m. and the investigation went on until 6 p.m. They didn't let me out of handcuffs until 3 p.m. Literally. And when they did, they wouldn't let me in the house to put any clothes on. It was freezing cold at the time. I had on shorts and a tank top because I had just woke up. Like, I hadn't brushed my teeth. I hadn't done anything yet. And so they had us in handcuffs at first, but once they let us out, they said like we were free to go. I just couldn't go in my house. So my big sister and my stepdad come and pick me up, and they're asking me what happened. I'm letting them know what happened. And my sister, she just starts going up on me like, if my sister passes, it's your fault, because like she should have never been involved and nothing that you and him had going on. And I'm just telling her, like, come on now, like, we all know, sis, like, she was gonna pull up regardless. Even if I didn't call her right then and there, once I told her that they jumped me or that I fought her at that, she was still gonna pull up to their house. Like, and then on top of that, he had some type of revenge that he wanted from her. He did not just do that just because he was scared for his baby mama. Like, he literally has been hating my sister our whole relationships, probably since she busted him in the face with a wine glass. So the hospital calls and they tell us that basically she is not stable and that they don't think that she's going to make it. And now my whole world is crumbled all over again, because I'm like, there's no way you're doing this to me right now, God. Like, you literally just took my mom. There's no way you're about to take my sister too. Like, she told us that all we would have is each other. And me and my oldest sister have never had the best relationship. So, like, that wasn't enough for me. And I was just like distraught. I was stressed. I was everything that you can think of. And so I didn't want to stay there with my sister that night because she had already said what she said to me. So I'm like, I'm just going to go home. Like, I don't even want to be around this type of energy right now. And she was hurt, and so I understand why she said it. But I left and I went back to the house. So I pull up, and his baby mama's literally just leaving around 9 p.m. because all of our cars were a part of the investigation. Anything that was in that driveway or on that curb was a part of it. She didn't have her cell phone, his cell phone. She couldn't touch her car keys. I couldn't move my car. Nobody could touch anything. So when I got there, she was just pulling off, but the police was still there, so I couldn't do anything. And so I go in the house, and I'm sitting there. I know somebody spent the night with me that night, but I can't remember who. I want to say it was my stepdad. And I'm sitting there just zoned completely out. Like, now I'm thinking about every little thing. I'm sitting there telling myself, why didn't you run when this happened? Why didn't you leave him alone when this happened? Like, basically just telling myself, you literally got away when it was entirely too late. And I was beating myself up, praying, hoping that my sister was going to make it, because they did say that she was still alive. She just was unstable. And so I was praying that she was going to make it, praying that a miracle happened, because I know that they happen every day. And I could not fall asleep. I just sat there, literally just sitting there. I couldn't smoke. I couldn't drink. I was just sitting there. So I was so traumatized. Naturally, around 6 a.m., my body just shut down and went to sleep on its own. And it's November 29th, 2022, and I want to say it's around 9 a.m. that I got a call from the hospital. And the hospital calls, and they advise that we come see our sister because they don't know how much more they're going to be able to do for her. So we go up there to see her. She's not looking good at all. She's not breathing on her own. Her brain was completely swollen. We found out that she didn't only get shot in her butt, but also it went through her gut. And they explained that basically the type of firearm that it was caused her organs to internally blow up. And so he had messed my sister up so bad that they couldn't really do much. They said that there was one more possibility that they were looking at for a surgery, and that she would only be able to go through this surgery if she had had a bowel movement in the past couple hours before she had got to the hospital. And so they were basically saying if there's any bowel in their way during this surgery, they cannot perform the surgery because it will infect everything that's open. And we were just hoping that she had had a bowel movement. My sister was on a weight gain journey at this time, so we honestly became optimistic once they told us that, because we were just so sure that she had had a bowel movement before getting to that hospital. We were like, she eats all the time. She's always in the bathroom. She has definitely used the bathroom lately. So now we leave the hospital. I go back to the house. When I get there, my cousin and my auntie came over and a couple other people. This time of life is so cloudy. I can't even remember every step by step thing after. But they came over and my cousin is destroying his car. He's throwing rocks through the windows, breaking the windshield. And I'm letting him do what he does at first, but then I remembered that my name is on the car as well. And I didn't know much about how insurance worked and stuff like that at the time. So I was thinking that that was going to come back on me if he destroyed that car. So I was like, just leave it alone, please. Later on, we get a call, and the hospital tells us that we need to come see our sister once again because she is not going to make it. So when we get there, we're asking them, like, how come they can't put her on life support? Like, what's the deal? And they explained that because her heart wasn't beating by itself, I guess, that life support wasn't going to work. I can't remember exactly what they said. I was so traumatized at this time that I wasn't really listening to anything or anybody. But after finding out that they were not going to be able to save her, I yelled at the whole hospital, of course. I'm obviously not good when it comes to situations like that. But I'm yelling at the nurses, I'm yelling at the doctors, I'm telling them they didn't even try, I'm telling them this is exactly why I hate sunrise. Almost about to get put out at this point. But the nurses, they were actually a little more compassionate this time, and they were saying that they completely understand why I'm acting like this, and just telling us to let them know when we're ready to pull the plug. So they tell us we can give you guys a couple more hours, and by the end of the day, if there is no more progress, then we will have to pull the plug. And so me and my sister and my stepdad and everybody that's there with us, we go in the room and we talk to her and we tell her our sorries and sing to her, and then we tell her goodbye, basically. And so hopefully she was able to hear us. They were never able to confirm or deny whether or not she could still hear us. They said there was still some brain activity, but she was almost brain dead as well. So we go to my sister's house for a while, and trauma does affect your memory a lot because I can't even remember what we did after that. That's all a gray area. And then eventually I go home. My cousin goes home with me, as well as a couple of my friends or whoever was there to comfort me at the time. And so I go home, we're kicking it at my house, and I leave to go drop my cousin back off at his house, get back to my house, and his car is no longer in the front, and my back door is wide open. And of course, when he went, he still had a key to my house. So I'm thinking, like, did he really just get out that fast? Like, there is no way. So now I'm concerned because, like I said, it was a registered firearm and it was also his house. So I'm thinking they just let him out, saying that, like, basically he wasn't in the wrong. So I text his baby mama, his brother. I'm texting everybody. I'm like, I know y'all did not just come to my house and just walk up in my house and like just take stuff out of my house because they took his game and everything else. But it was so weird because it happened as I went to go drop my cousin off 10 minutes away from my house. So I wasn't gone for more than 20 minutes. So somebody had to be in front of my house or down the street watching me and waiting for me to leave my house. And that was even more concerning because, like, come on now. So she claims nobody was ever in my house, but obviously one of them were. And so the owner and the landlord are texting me and calling me like, hey, what's going on? The police gave us a call. They said this and this happened. Like, let us know something. And they called me and asked me about that, I think the night that it happened or the next day. So I didn't get around to calling them until November 30th when everything was starting to die down. I tell them what happened, and they're basically just sending their condolences. They're like, that's so crazy. When we met him, he didn't seem like he was that type of person. Like, we can't believe it. You guys seemed like such a happy couple when you guys first moved in. We would have never thought something like this happened. And they're working with me. They're basically saying that I do have to leave. They blamed it on the police, saying that the police thought that it was best for my safety to leave. But I know that they just didn't want that type of stuff at their house, which is understandable. And so they said that I had to leave, but they weren't going to put an eviction or anything on my name because of what I just went through. And I'll put all of that in the life after. So now it's January, his first court date. I've been keeping in contact with the DA this entire time to find out what's going on. And they let him out on bail. So now a bunch of weird stuff is going on. Mind you, his baby mama has a snake. And one day my sister walks outside and there is a deceased rat just laying there right in front of the door like somebody placed it there. And then my car got stolen. And when I found my car, a bunch of stuff was missing that belonged to him, had his name on it, or something that he has asked me for before. So now I'm convinced like he's messing with me, and I'm just confused because, like, dude, what more do you want from me? So now it's March 22nd, and I guess all his little tactics weren't working, so he decided to reach out. I'm gonna post all the messages in a separate video, but I'm gonna read the first message. It says, "Hey Sky, I hope you're doing good. I know we haven't spoke since the accident. I really want to apologize. I never thought in a million years that would happen and wasn't supposed to. I never meant to do that. I feel like I folded in that moment and didn't know what to do. And I know what Rachel is capable of, and Ebony never stood a chance. Rachel was like my sister too. We drank, smoked together. I never would have thought to harm her. Like, for real, for real. I know that and feel it every day. I failed you big time. I was supposed to be the one to take care of you and make sure you was always good, and I didn't play my part at all. You was right. I should have gotten myself right before dating you. But you made me feel like the only dude you ever wanted. Made me fall in love with you. I just feel like if we met before my previous relationship, no doubt about it, we would have been married already, and I hate that for me. I'm gonna just put the rest in the next video because this is about to end in a second. But moral to the story is run before it gets too late. Stop messing with these dudes who are mentally unstable because it will cost somebody's life. More importantly, do not ignore the red flags. Like, that is not cute. It's not okay to ignore the red flags because it can turn out really, really ugly in the end. And I didn't know that, but I'm here to tell you now that it can. And you guys are more than welcome to ask me questions. I'm going to be doing Q&A videos as well as a life after bid with a couple different parts. And I'm going to post the messages separately in a video. Thank you all for listening, and don't forget to follow.